So we'll go ahead and get started. You're actually the only person who's joined so far, and it shouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes to kind of go through the presentation. So I'll go ahead and share my screen with you, and you should be able to see the presentation. Give me just 1 second. All right, so are you able to see the whole screen? Should just say Show Me Child Care Resources, Connecting with Families.
Yes, I see that, dear.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Dory Martin. It's nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Dory. I'm Kay Bennett.
Where are you located, Kay?
I'm at Our Lady of Presentation Early Childhood Center.
Okay.
Lee Summit, Missouri. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So you're a teacher, correct?
Yes, I'm pre-K.
Okay, awesome. So I was actually a pre-K teacher for 4 years before I joined Child Care Aware of Missouri, and that's kind of where my heart lies. So kind of nice to talk to a kindred spirit. So I work with Child Care Aware of Missouri. I focus on our resource website, Show Me Child Care Resources. And so today we'll just talk about some of the specific materials that are available for teachers to help with family connection and collaboration.
Sounds great.
If you have any questions as I'm going through, don't hesitate to holler out, but I will go into the actual site towards the end of the presentation just to show you exactly where to find the materials and information we talk about today, okay?
Wonderful.
All right, awesome. So let me get to the next slide here. All right. So communing with families is key to helping serve the children in your classroom, as you know. And Show Me Child Care Resources offers potential apps, websites, different technological supports, as well as templates and tips for communicating with family members. So the pages on this slide are direct snippets. You can see, like it says, infant report and the schedule. They're direct snippets from the samples and templates that are available in Show Me Child Care Resources. From personal experience, I will say that using an app to send parents pictures and updates is a great way to build a relationship with families. Sometimes these apps can have an additional fee outside of just using them for communication. I know in my classroom we use the Remind app, and then my daughter's teacher has used Class Dojo. And so I've linked to those in Show Me Child Care Resources. I'm not sure if there's again, an additional fee or some overhead payment that you have to pay for those, but there are other apps out there that can be utilized.
Right.
Do you use an app in your classroom?
No, we have all of these pre-created with plans from the front office.
Okay.
Yeah, all of these routines and we do our own newsletters. We're required to do a website as well.
Okay.
Daily reporting, I mainly keep that. We aren't required to do daily reporting at my age level, but
Right.
I do keep that very familiar when I know I have a parent that's concerned, or a child that just needs a little extra attention at the end of the day from the parent regarding their day. So I will attach a picture for the concerned parent to know the child is acclimated for the day and send that off. So they do kind of get daily reports, but it's on an individual need basis.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So if your director is interested in utilizing an app just for your whole program in general, it just kind of streamlines the parent communication as far as instead of them having your personal phone number. And also this depends on cell phone policies in your program and how you're able to use your phone in your classroom, but just taking pictures of activities throughout the day and just sending quick messages or receiving quick messages. And then also being able to set hours of well, I'm not going to answer after this time. I'm not going to answer before this time, or I can only answer from my break time or during nap time or anything like that. Just kind of depends on.
Yeah. We have a lot of this already set up at the front office. I mean, we're a huge facility. We're under 200 children, just under 200 children. And she's got a full service, a Remind situation, as well as constant contact with parents. So it is a lot of The basics go through the front office. We have phones in our classrooms. We have full computer access in our classrooms. So that part of the communication with families is really well covered.
Right, pretty well established. And I found that with those larger programs like yours, that everything is already streamlined and figured out and everything's in place, which is awesome. So on to the next slide, just working together with families. Most often families will turn to you as the child care provider with questions and concerns about their children because you're with them more waking hours in the day than anyone else. And while I recommend encouraging families to ask questions of their pediatricians for more serious concerns, you can offer them those outside resources to help them better support their children's growth and development. And Show Me Child Care Resources has information that can be shared with families almost immediately, either through a link or a direct printout that can be sent home. And these resources can help you develop better plans together with families to support the children in your classroom and kind of bridge the gap between home and school to make that child more supported, whether they're just a typically developing child or a child that needs a little bit more support.
Yes, understood.
Yeah, so with like the resources that are available, there are things that can help with potty training and developing those plans, getting on the same page with families so that they can kind of follow the same practices, or you can follow the same practices that they're doing at home so that their child can learn those skills. So those kind of general supports and important developmental stages like self-regulating emotions and learning to identify their feelings as well as the feelings of their peers. And then developing collaborative relationships with families shows, and I know you know this, it shows them how much you care for their child and kind of creates that open pathway of communication so that they feel comfortable coming to you to talk about maybe something that's going on at home that could affect their child at school. And
Definitely.
so be more aware and more readily prepared to support that child and that family. And then creating that atmosphere of trust and support and respect just makes everybody's life a little bit easier. It makes your work environment a little bit easier, a little bit happier, knowing that families are trusting you with their child and trusting you with personal information to help their child. All right. And I'm sure in your large program that you already have these things kind of in place as far as family involvement is concerned. I'm sure at this point, not a lot of volunteers are being allowed in, and
No.
events really aren't a thing at this point. But as things hopefully kind of change and people are able to interact more, there are like ideas and opportunities for family involvement, whether it be classroom volunteers to help with activities or a mystery reader program. I know I had like a mystery reader every other Friday in my classroom where a grandparent or a parent or sometimes a faculty member would come in and read to the children either a book that was related to our curriculum that week or a favorite book of that parents or family members. And that was always really fun for the kids.
That's a great thing to do. We do that in this classroom. Not every classroom is afforded that. It just depends on the teacher, but we recognize Grandparents' Day in this classroom where they generally every year until this year has come in with a schedule for a half an hour spending time in the classroom with their child and amongst the other students. So hopefully we'll get back to that, but a great idea. Very great idea.
And then as far as family events go, again, that's not happening. And so, and it kind of just depends on where your families are and what their interest is. If they would want to do like a family, like virtual event where they can just get on and say hello. And I think it would be more applicable for those pre-K, preschool children who are more aware of what's going on and like, oh, well, that's little Johnny's dad, or that's Susie's grandma, or something like that, to just kind of interact with each other in a different environment and get to know each other's families, to know like.
Yes, very valuable, very valuable. We do that with birthdays, but we'll be doing it probably live stream, which will be more engaging. I know that,
So
I'm sorry.
are you at full like occupancy right now, or do you only have some of your children there?
No, we went to essential workers in the end of May. I guess it was partial May. And then we have opened to normal public beginning in June. And I'm not sure what fall registration is like. I have no
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
I know I had parents requesting, so that means that I have two. So you just never know. I mean, we're
Yeah.
usually at full capacity. I mean, it's very rare, aside from 2 or 3 part-time Tuesday, Thursday, or many Wednesday, Friday spots in pre-K, is it not full.
Right.
And you're looking at 100 and I think 190 something students, up to 200 total.
Yeah, you guys are big.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and share like the actual website with you at
Okay.
www.showmeresource.org.
Uh-huh.
Let me get here and share that direct page. All right, are you able to see that homepage? It should.
Yes, and I'm sorry I'm not on video. I'm just feeling like I've been outside and I feel like I'm really rough-edged right
Oh,
now.
you're fine. Don't apologize.
I do not want to look at myself.
I totally get that. I understand.
Yeah, we had water play just a little while ago, just in time. Okay, guiding through change, see
Yes.
resources.
So
Yes.
this is the homepage. When you sign in, this is where you land. To get to the things that I've been talking about today, you would go to In the Classroom, scroll down, and go to Family Collaboration and Communication.
Uh-huh.
And then you'll kind of see some things broken down. There are some resources for family conferences. You mentioned you guys have the newsletters and the daily reports if you use them.
Mm-hmm.
Apps that I had mentioned. And those are just like links out to get to that resource to see if it would be an option for whoever is looking into it. And then tips and suggestions for creating an accepting and welcoming environment for all families, the event ideas. And one thing, even if you're not necessarily holding a family event, so I'll click on event ideas. So if you're maybe creating art in your classroom and you want to have an art show, you can always utilize, it comes up as a Microsoft Word document.
Huh?
If I can grab it up. There we go. So instead of it saying like, come to our art show, it could say like, we had an art show. And then instead of these pictures, it could be pictures of that particular child's artwork, or
Right.
with their artwork, or maybe like the kids talking about their artwork to their peers, that kind of thing. Just a little something to families, especially now that things are just so wild, and not always brightest of times, a little stressful for families. So just something fun that you could do with this, even if it means not having an event. So going back here. So then it kind of goes down the list, those difficult conversations, developmental challenges that might be happening, and ways to talk with family members to best support them and to help guide them into where they need to go to get those supports for their child. And then further down the line, you'll see these other resources for different parts of growth and development in early childhood.
Those look good.
So do you have any questions? This is kind of what I've got. We keep it short, just a little quick snip of what's available by topic so that teachers and program directors can see what's in the site, see if they would want to utilize anything. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. No, I will pass this on to Kathy Koob and let her know that she's aware I did the webinar. And I will pass it on to her and tell her you've got some great ideas for support and should take a look at your complete program.
All right, awesome.
I'm reading your stuff.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I will pass that on to Kathy Koob and check out our site. It's Our Lady of Presentation Early Childhood Center, and we're in Lee Summit, Missouri.
All right. And then Kay, if you don't mind, I'm going to send you a link for a survey. It's like 3 or 4 questions. And if you get a minute, would you mind filling that out just to give me some feedback?
Not at all. I'll be happy to do it right away.
Thank you, Kay. Thanks for all you do.
Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye.
Bye.